The organizational interests of the women's rights movement was founded on civil solutions that explicitly addressed the various grievances of the contemporary paradigm of the United States. The founding principles of the women's rights movement were in reaction towards social grievances experienced by suffragists and other proponents of women's rights through the then moral paradigm of the United States. The Declaration of Sentiments, one of the founding articles of the suffrage movement, expresses the disapproval of the social conformity instilled by the political components of the United States' social hierarchy. This is attributed to the limited political framework or political inadequacy given to women by men. The wording of the Declaration of Sentiments shows the reactionary perspective of the suffragists, who convey their resolutions as criticisms of the state and as criticisms of the social relationship between men and women. Men are regarded as having overreached their social and domestic influence, civilly enslaving the right of enfranchisement from the woman and the woman's own self. The intersectionality between the abolition movement and the women's rights movement showcases similar issues. The symbolic gesture by which men violate the natural rights of women is the same social understanding through which property rights are enshrined. The inability to own oneself, or to not have the civil means to do so, is the primary rationale of both abolitionism and the women's rights movements. The use of the word master, quote unquote, regarding men in the Declaration of Sentiments suggests this coalition of ideals. Another characteristic of the thematic ideal of owning oneself, quote unquote, is the extension of owning property. Alicia Harlebut's essay on the criticism of the New York legislature's refusal to grant women the necessary ability to own property suggests a wider criticism of the United States' inegalitarian social hierarchy. Harlebut's reaction to the overarching influence of men on the property rights of the United States implicates a desire on the behalf of the social and political elite to civilly limit the rights of women in order to confer greater influence and wealth upon themselves. The limitation is likened to a, quote, civil death, unquote, for women, where the proponents of the social and political class of the elite utilize law in order to maintain the organization of the status quo. Hurlbut's ultimate conclusion would suggest that the enfranchisement of women are a direct threat to the men of the bourgeoisie, because the ownership of property provides financial independence that would also compete to the independence of men.